What's up YouTube? My name is Mnet. For this video we are doing episode 1 of the Mnet Weekly Recap, and this is going to be a fun little project for us. We will start with Mnet every Friday and then end on Sunday with SBS's Inkigale, otherwise known as the music trend. Now, this is one of 6 different chart shows which is done in South Korea. It is currently hosted by, excuse me for a second. It is currently hosted by Shine's Key, CM Blues, Lee Jong-shin, and GOT7's Jr. and Bam Bam. So yeah, they actually got a lot of hosts for the show. It's actually a really good show, and it runs for 90 minutes. Actually 95 minutes, so things taken. It uses a lot of different elements to gauge who gets to be on top and who actually doesn't. For those wondering, the measuring sticks they use, the chart system goes like this. Digital sales are half your ranking. Album sales are 10%. Social media points, YouTube official music video views, and social media buzz, 10%. Preference points, global fan votes through M-Wave, Mnet Japan, and Mnet America, plus age range preference, that's an interesting one, 10%, Mnet broadcast points 10%, and SMS votes 10%. But the big one, interestingly enough, is the digital sales. So if you're not a super popular group, that could make you or break you, and that actually, let me just go ahead and say, is not something you want, considering this is also one of the few shows that has a very unique rule. This countdown, along with Inkigale, runs a Triple Crown system. What that means is this: if a group wins 3 times on the chart, they are removed until they do a comeback. So, that is something to consider if you're a fan of a certain group, and you may wonder why they are not in the countdown the following week. Now then, let's talk over some of the notes. We're not going to go over the whole show because the goddamn thing's 90 minutes, and I want to try and keep these videos a little bit short. So you'll forgive me if I do skip over some things. Let's see, where do we want to start? Let's start with the group Polten and the song Go Easy. It was ranked number 18. I'm going to say this now, and if I remember correctly, and I just watched it, it was actually a really up-tempo, kind of peppy song. It was one of those songs that when you looked at where it was ranked, which was number 18, I believe, it actually should have been higher. I know damn well it should have been higher than one of the songs that came after it, because when I listened to that, I was like, huh? That song was I'm a Hotshot by the group Hotshot. Something about that song, when I listened to it and I listened to Go Easy, I went, you know what? These could have switched, and Go Easy actually could be, and should be, I think, a top 15 song at the very minimum. And you have to listen to both of them to understand why, but for me, there was something about I'm a Hotshot that just didn't resonate. And I think it was like, I had heard the song Playback by the group Playback at the very beginning of the show, which was a really interesting kind of funky beat. And it was like the first two songs were kind of like that. And then I heard that one, I'm sitting there going, okay, I think we went a little overkill, but we'll work with it. But yeah, I definitely think, and I'm fingers crossed that next week it will happen, but I do see Go Easy actually going a little bit higher. Hopefully higher than Hot Shot. I'm just saying. Then here's like one of the more interesting songs of the the song was called Please by Sungen, Sunguen. And here's legitimately how I wrote the notes, which is what I'm reading off of. The opening to this song sounds like something that you would hear in the club if you walked into it, and it kind of keeps that vibe when you listen to it. I can definitely get down with this song for sure. Surprised it's not on the chart this week. And it wasn't ranked, if you wonder what I mean by that. Let's see, what was another interesting one? Love Shake by Minx. You know, there's a lot of interesting songs that I hear when I listen to either J-pop or K-pop now. And this is virtually my introduction to a lot of these groups. So if I don't have a lot to say about them, my sincere apologies. But you listen to this song, and I'm going to go back and listen to it in a bit, and yeah, it was really good. Like, you look at the way some of these songs were released, especially a song like that around the summertime, and you just go, got it. They pretty much have the vibe down for what they wanted to go with as far as different songs, and this was definitely one of them. To say that, you know, I don't know where I would actually put it, but I do see that in the future it could at least be maybe a top 10, top 5 song. I'm not saying it's going to be number 1 because we've already established what you have to do to get there. Do I think it could be? Yeah, but look at one of the groups you're going to have to go through, which we'll discuss later. But that was a definite song that I think everybody needs to go check out at some point here. NS Yeon G with Honey Summer was actually a really, really good song. And as I have it written here, it probably could be higher in the countdown if the fan base was there for him. Now, I should clarify that, because the fan base probably is, but you have to understand also, the music scene in South Korea is probably one of the most competitive in the world. Like, no joke. You figure there's like 6 different chart shows that you do in South Korea on a weekly basis, right? For them to be 13 was amazing. And the song was really good. That's why I said I thought it could be in the top 10. But when you look at some of the songs that made the top 10 for this week, AOA made it. Obviously, Girls' Generation made it. EXIO, when Devil gets voted in, will probably make it at some point. If it doesn't, I'm going to be surprised. Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, because of the way it's competitive over there, you really, really, really need to step your game up. And I really like the song. So I can see it being higher than 13 next week, but I can also see it dropping next week because of some of the debuts that we had and some of the comebacks that happened. So there's just something to really think about there. Let's see. 9Muse, speaking of groups that made the top 10, they just recently hit 1 million on YouTube with the song Hurt Locker, and it's really good. Like, really, really, really good. The fact that it dropped one spot to number 9 kind of surprises me. To number 10 rather, but do I see it rebounding next week? Yeah, I kind of do. I kind of see it making at least number 7. But that's completely up to a lot of different factors, and fingers crossed that it gets to where it needs to, because it deserves it by every stretch of the imagination. So, y'all, if you're in the 9Muses fandom, you might want to get on watching the video or buying the single, because trust me, I don't want to see it drop any further, to be honest. I definitely have an affinity for that song. Where do we go next? Heart Attack from AOA. Alright, look. This was number 3 last week. And it was number 5 this week. Now, all you gotta know is, and I'm gonna, like I said, I really have to go back and listen to some of these songs, because here's the thing: when you have an hour and a half and you're listening to like every single song, you're trying to remember every little detail of every song you heard. And it seems interesting that the girl groups focus a little bit more on upbeat songs at times. You know what I mean? And not saying that the male groups don't, because they do, but they also like to incorporate a bit of a rap into their melody, which is nothing wrong with that. But I can definitely say that Heart Attack, the fact that it was number 3 last week and it was number 5 this week, whew, it just goes to show the competition that is going on, especially in the music scene. Because if it was number 3 last week and it's number 5 this week, whoo! Hello, kids. Alright. So, we're going to skip up now to... Let's go up to our Girls from Girls Generation, because we need to discuss them. They reached number 100 on the wins column recently. Now, for those of you curious, they are, as far as, since somebody's been tracking it apparently, they are the first group to hit the 100 wins mark on the total on the chart shows. You have to remember there's 6 different chart shows, and they've just recently hit 100, and they've been around for about 8 years. That's pretty impressive, though. Think about it. The next highest group, for those curious as far as who's next to reach 100, that would be Big Bang, but they have 73 wins. they still have a ways to go if they want to reach the almighty 100. And in case anybody's wondering, on Music Bank this week, which we will get into tomorrow, Girls' Generation was presented with a trophy for reaching the 100 mark. So that's just shows you how monumental the achievement is. And the song Party, yeah, really, 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 really good. Please go check it out if you haven't already, because there's a reason they've hit 100 wins, and this is one of them. Super Junior. Here we go. So we had two songs from them, and they were Don't Wake Me Up from the D&E division, and of course the song that actually introduced me to Super Junior. The song is called Devil. If you have not seen the video, by all means, do me a favor, stop this video, go to SM Town's YouTube channel, and go watch it, because, dear God, that song needs to be #1, like, tomorrow. No joke. There is something about Super Junior, there's something also about Ixio, that, when I listened to Devil, I just immediately went, yeah, I get this song. And it's so interesting to me that the K-pop and even the J-pop music scene, they had this thing where they come up with the song and then they come up with the concept for the video, and when you watch the video, you go, I get it. In this country, I have seen songs where I'll listen to the song and I'll try and envision the video in my head. Then I'll watch the video and the song doesn't, in some ways, match the title. Or the video doesn't match the title. You get what I'm saying? If Devil doesn't make #1 at some point on the Mnet countdown, I'm going to be shocked. Like, legitimately. But you gotta get through one of the juggernauts, and that is, of course, Girls' Generation, and I think they can do it. It will be interesting to see, between the two fan bases, which one of the songs prevails next Thursday and Friday. Speaking of winning, by the way, the winner for this week as far as the Mnet countdown was in fact Girls' Generation. This was probably one of their 3 victories on the road to 100. And it was definitely worth it, because Party is one of those songs that it is a party. And so is the countdown. Like, if you actually do yourself a favor, if you get done watching this video, because I may not be doing a good job of expressing it right now, but the way they do the setup for the program each week, first off, and the fact that they give it 90 minutes plus, it just goes to show you they want to make sure that you're introduced to a lot of songs and a lot of artists, because we did have a solo debut, and that solo debut came to us from, if I grab it real quick here, let's see. Oh, Kuhara. And it's spelled either with a K or a C, literally. On the artist tag on M-Wave, it says CO, but it's also been spelled KO, so it's just spelled either way. It's KOO, Hara, H-A-R-A. But they do a lot, and they get everything done that they absolutely need to do within the 90 minutes. And I think you all need to go check this show out, and I think you all need to go check out some of these artists, because, like I said, I may not be doing a good job right now of conveying the way the music went, but this is week 1, and we're going to go through some growing pains for a little bit. Anywho, please go check out Mnet Countdown, especially this week's episode, because my God, there were a lot of debuts. Some I didn't go over, and a lot of comebacks, and then of course the win by Girls' Generation. So do yourself a favor, please go check out Mnet Countdown. It airs on Mnet America every Thursday, and then you can catch the episode on the website not long after. So, and by the way, it was episode 433 that we just reviewed. So, do yourself a favor, go check out this episode, and I will talk to you all as far as this show next Friday, and I will talk to you then. So, take care, my friends. Bye-bye.